Hey guys, it's Neodyinamite and welcome to Satisfactory. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have never heard about this game, let's put it just this way. It is the most beautiful copycat of Factorio. Let's be honest over here. This game is pretty. It's really pretty. It's a new game. It shows tons of promises, but the thing is that a similar way as in Factorio, it could get quite confusing at the beginning. So you probably will start a base, you start to develop yourself, you try to expand, to grow, and you notice that you're doing something wrong. You're probably doing something very inefficient, and you will probably quit the game and never come back to it. But the thing is with Satisfactory is that it actually you actually see its beauty after starting it again in the second playthrough. So I decided that I'm gonna help you a little bit with that thing by making you a small guide on how to get to the space elevator, which I think is gonna be very helpful for new people. Now, as you can see, I've picked the first biome to start this base, simply because I think this one is the most balanced one. It gives you the good amount of resources, it gives you the good amount of biomass which you need at the beginning, and also the threats here are not that devastating. You see a lot of flat land, so even if you're gonna find some aliens which are almost all aggressive, then you'll be able to go around them without much of a worry. So keep that thing in mind. Also, I think this one is the best because of certain elements that are on this map which allow you to easily navigate till you actually will learn more or less how the maps looks, because the maps are always the same. This is not like random generated. The maps, actually all of the maps in Satisfactory are handmade. So basically once you know the layout, you will know exactly where to go. But as you can see, I started in a quite nice place. I literally just landed and this is where the game decided to throw me. So I think this is gonna be a beautiful, beautiful start. I think the game actually has something for putting me in a very weird places, you know. Just saying, no matter how many times I restart the game, it decides to put me on a cliff. So I can basically jump and kill myself. That's a really wonderful game, thank you, thank you. So basically you're gonna land on the planet sooner or later, and you're actually gonna get like the tutorial for the game. The game will actually is gonna try to guide you through the first steps. So just in case you won't get the idea over here, you have shortcuts on the lower right side of the screen. Basically those are your hotkeys that you're gonna use. The first tool that you're gonna use is basically the tool for destroying or disassembling and building stuff. However, if you're gonna press the F key, basically this is gonna turn into the disassemble mode. And the first thing you need to do is actually destroy your landing pod, because you need basic materials to build yourself the hub. After that, what the game is recommending to you is actually to go to the inventory. You access this thing by pressing the tab button as shown in the shortcuts, and you need to equip yourself the Xeno Zapper. This is basically your first weapon. I'm not exactly sure on the day of recording this are there more weapons, but this thing will be more than enough to allow you to go through the alien life forms that will appear on the planet. So just equip this thing in the hand and you are safe to go. And speaking of alien xenotypes, basically you sooner or later will encounter them. You may actually take some damage depending on how good your fighting skills are, and if you take damage you may actually want to heal yourself. Now a good thing is there are actual natural ways of healing yourself. You simply have to go on a little bit of exploring and look for berries. This is what I call this thing. This is called the berry nut. It's quite good to heal you, so I highly recommend that you take some. But even better than the berry nut over there is the pale berry. Red berry is good for you. Red means health, and this thing will heal like crazy. So if you see this thing, grab it like there's no tomorrow. So we got a weapon, we got a crafting tool, we even got some healing materials, which is very nice. Now the game will actually tell you to scan the area for resources, and basically it's gonna try to guide you to the nearest deposit to start to building your first base. Now the thing is, when I start to play Satisfactory, I think a good idea is actually to start to build not a main base right from the beginning, but something called the boot base. Boot base is basically a base that is very small, but will fuel the actual construction of the main base. It sounds a little bit weird, I know, but if you're playing a game like this for the first time, you're gonna make mistakes. And having actually a boot bay boot base, actually. English words, hard words. Having a boot base won't hurt you so much if you have to rebuild it in a different place, because you will constantly get new resources. So without any problem, you'll be able to go into the wildlands, search for like more flatter space, and build yourself an actual main base. So in the Greenlands, there is one spot that I actually recommend to go to start to build a boot base, because it's quite small. There's a little bit of flat land over there. There are basically all the starting resources that you need, and also later on, once you establish the main base, you can easily turn the boot base into an outpost to supply your main base with the basic resources, and you're gonna need basic resources. If you have played Factorio, which I guess you did, then you know the idea that you need to have tons and tons of iron and copper to actually build stuff in this game. So if you are in the Greenlands, which I recommend, you have to look for this rock arc over here. If you're gonna see it, and you will see it from the far edge of this land, just go towards it. Try to avoid the alien life forms for now. Those, for example, are not that dangerous. They're just standing and making weird noises. You were, however, gonna encounter some more dangerous ones. That's okay, because, you know, you are, after all, on an alien planet, and basically, you are the alien. Now, those plants over there, you may actually want to try to avoid them, simply because if you're gonna get near to them, they're gonna rise, and they're gonna do this little tiny animation. So you have a few seconds to actually either run past them or retreat, because they're gonna then fart, and trust me, you don't want to smell that thing, man. So as you are like progressing towards the rock arc, I highly recommend that you're gonna gather all the leaves you can, because you're gonna need them, man. So if you see those plants over there, you can actually try to go this way. And I think there's like a simple passage somewhere around this place to actually get to the point where I want to build the boot base. So just climb past this thing, and you're gonna encounter aliens. As you can see, this is the alien that I like to call the bull. Simply noticing what he's doing. He will charge towards you, so the best idea is just to press the button responsible for moving backwards, and then on one of the sides. He will try to attack you again. He will try to kill you. So just keep dodging him, unless he's gonna try to do something weird. Okay. And once he's next to you, just press the left mouse button, and you're gonna zap him. And I think you need to zap him 3 times. No, 4 times actually. You need to zap him 4 times in order to get rid of him. So quite easy. Now past this corpse and those 2 weird ass looking trees, you're gonna walk yourself over here, and you're gonna see the copper deposit. You're gonna see another of those bull animals. So yeah, you just have to deal with him. I mean, he's not that difficult to get killed, so you just have to avoid him a little tiny bit. Like, this is the basic of boss fighting from like games, right? From, if you played, for example, Serious Sam, you get the idea that how easy this enemy is to defeat. So this is your copper, all right? This is the copper deposit. You're gonna use this thing a lot, maybe later on. At the beginning, not so much, but you will use it anyway. The game is still requesting from me to look for resources. So if you're gonna get lost, just press the C button, and you're gonna activate the scanner, and it's gonna show you resources. So once you have the gigantic rock arc to your left, you're supposed to see this little, let's say cliff, I believe, over there. So just rush towards it, and you need to go around it. You're basically gonna go this way, turn right, and keep moving forward. And this is, ladies and gentlemen, the place that I recommend to start to build your boot base. I know there are still like some aliens around, but those are still the basic ones, so you're not supposed to have much of a problem, right? I mean, come on. How hard can it be to defeat an enemy like this? Also, you need to have some basic combat training if you actually want to survive on this alien planet. So, we have copper over there, behind that edge. We have limestone over here, and then we have a nice, good deposit of iron over here. And don't you worry, because coal is also present here, just a little bit further back. But it's gonna be easy to get to it anyway. I just have to deal with this guy. Ouch. Okay. Easy mode, no problem. So once you've cleared the place of alien life form, congratulations, you have your very own first place you can call your own. So the game is still requesting me to look for resources. So you need to stand next to the resource, recommending the pure ore at the beginning, and just hold E, and you're gonna mine this thing a little tiny bit. And you're gonna need that thing. Feel free to mine a little bit of this thing. There you go. Because we kind of like need to unlock the actual deposit. Like that was not the deposit, that was a way for you to quickly gain some resources. Now, get to building by pressing Q. You may actually like want to clear some more space around you. Those guys are friendly. I mean, they're passive. I don't think they're gonna actually damage you, but if they're like an annoyance for you, you don't want them around, just stop them. Bye. Oh, I am a terrorist apparently. Now, look for yourself for like a nice space. Where you want to build this stuff, it's all up to you. Like just feel free and creative. I like to build the first structure though in a corner, so it actually won't bother me with its presence. So let's try to build this thing over here. You press the Q button, which is basically unlocking you the building thingy, and you need to look for the hub. Now the hub is your starting, I guess, base. Hard to say exactly what this thing is. An office? Probably an office. So feel free to stack this thing as close to the rock as humanly possible, and just press the left mouse button. And there you go. No problem. Now this is where the fun starts, because now you have to be the factory. You cannot automate anything at the beginning of the game, because you need to actually like progress through the tiers, and tier 0 actually has certain upgrades for the hub. It actually has 5 upgrades. So just to give you an idea, hub upgrade number 1 allows you to make the craft bench, the equipment workshop, the smelter. Hub number 2, upgrade number 2 gives you the constructor, which is basically the assembly machine from Factorio if you have played that game, and will allow you to automate a little bit the production. Then hub upgrade number 3 is basically the walls and foundations of the factory. If you want, use them. If not, that's okay. It's just gonna look a little bit more chaotic, but feel free to actually use this thing for the main base. Then you have the hub upgrade number 4, which is the actual miner, because at the beginning you have to drop the resources manually, and you have the storage container. And finally, on hub number 5, you have the biomass burner, which will pass the limit of electricity problem for your base, and the main event, the space elevator. So that's gonna take a while. So first things first, we have to focus on making the hub upgrade number 1. Now feel free to select the millstone, because it's gonna show you in the top right corner of the screen what resources you need to do in order to actually do that thing. So then you have the crafting bench over here. Now we need to get into crafting. You remember the iron ores that we have gathered? Now we're gonna turn them into iron ingots. So just select this gigantic yellow button over here and press it and hold it. You may actually want to get yourself like some duct tape, or maybe if you have kids, just tell the kid to hold the mouse button and you should be golden. You can drink beer at the same time as well if you really want to, as a true engineer stuck on an alien lifeform planet thing without access to beer, if you think about that. Not recommending too many alcoholic beverages. Now, as you can see, the hub upgrade requires from me 10 rods. Okay, so select the iron rods, and you need to build 10 of them. As such, without any problem. Now you turn around, you select this thing with the E button, you put this thing from your inventory over here, or you can just, I think, press it, I don't know, and then you press the gigantic yellow button once again, just in case if you're gonna miss it. There you go. Now, since we have this thing on level number 1, as you can see, this is the burner. This is actually used to power up your base with basic electricity. Yeah, you need to actually build the space elevator first if you want to get access to the coal deposits, which will fuel like an actual base. So that's one of the reasons I'm actually building a boot base at the beginning. But don't you worry, just if you like wonder where you're gonna get coal, if you watched the early access videos of Satisfactory that I did, you know that literally if you're gonna go around over here, up this thing, whatever that thing is, and you're gonna look into the distance, over there, there's like this gigantic cliff, that thing over there, that thing over there, on its top has coal. So as you can see, it's not that far away from your base, and you can easily use that thing to power up your boot base at the beginning, and later on transfer the resources to your main base. And also, if you really want to, and if you're lonely, you're gonna have this space dog over here. I'm not gonna tame him though at the beginning. I just hope that by mistake he won't run into the poison plants and die. It's actually hard to judge how smart that animal is Just saying. But Neo, I'm not gonna walk around and do everything manually. Well, at the beginning you have. However, there is something that can help you get the basic resources. So the thing we need to craft is, well, actually build. Press the Q button once again and look for the equipment workshop. A good idea is actually to press the right mouse button because it's gonna add you this thing over here. And the basically game will tell you how many resources you need to have in your inventory to build this thing. So as you can see, the game is now telling me that I need 6 iron plates, which I can easily make. And then I need 6 iron rods. Like this. And we just managed to get all of the necessary items needed to make ourselves the equipment workshop. So feel free to put it over here, for example. There you go. Nice. And now it's time to automate this thing a little tiny bit. Now you can actually build yourself a thing called the portable miner, and you're gonna need this thing. Also, if you're gonna lose your zapper, you can get another one over here. Though, don't ask me why the hell this thing requests so many resources when it's this small. I mean, I have this thing in my hand, literally, and those are the resources I need to craft. I don't think I get this thing, game, by the way. Anyway, let's get to this thing. So, cannot afford it. Well, feel free to add it to your list. And you're gonna need to have 10 of those. So add 10 to your queue. And now we have to look for copper. So as you remember, copper was literally behind this thing. So I'm gonna do a safe jump here. As such, go past these bushes over here. Again over this. And drop down here. Drop down here. And there you go. Not much of a problem. Gonna walk around this cliff over here. And we got back to the wonderful, wonderful copper deposit, which I need. So I'm gonna need a bunch of this thing. So after gathering a little bit of copper, I go back to the craft bench. And I do exactly the same thing I did with the iron. So I craft myself first the copper ingot, and then we need to have 80 wires. However, the thing is that wires are also used as a building material, crafting component, I guess, for the cables. So basically, for one cable, you need 2 wires. For one wire, actually for 3 wires, you need 1 copper ingot. So you get the math. So let's begin by crafting the cables. We need exactly 40 to get the portable miners, which I want to have. And we will do this thing like this. There you go. Now I want to get some more coppers, wire, think, as such. And now I need to create more iron plates. However, I just ran out of iron ingots. So that's nice. Feel free to actually craft some. And we're gonna automate the beginning process. So I'm gonna craft myself the portable miner in a number of 2. Because I can. Craft 2, as such. Now, put those things in your hand. And look for the iron deposit, as you can see over here. Now, this is where the magic starts. Because you just drop this thing here. As such. And this thing from now on will automatically, without any fuel, mine you all of the iron it can master. Actually, it can I think it can mine 100 iron before the storage would get full, so you have to empty this thing from time to time. Now, pick up some more ore, and we're gonna go back to building. So manually, I harvested the pure iron thing, and I keep smacking the rock, and I've managed to get 64 iron ore. How many of you guys managed to mine? You already got 32, so yeah, you get the idea that they're getting iron in this type of numbers. It's not a problem at all. You just have to, like, I don't know, go to a kitchen and make yourself some tea, and you're gonna be swimming in iron, man. Also, if you get to the point where you won't have any left space in your inventory, the hub actually on level 1 has this very fancy thing called the personal storage box. So feel free to open this thing and drop all the items that you don't need at the moment. For example, the healing items, the leaves and the wood that's gonna be used to make yourself the biofuel. You don't need this thing at the beginning. The coal for flowers, I guess, the armor of the aliens, and any other excess materials that you don't need at the moment. And just if you're gonna ask, don't you worry, later on you gonna reuse the portable miners to build yourself the proper miners, the excavation machines. Now, I got all of the necessary miners I need, so remember just to drop them on the resource deposit. So for example, the idea that I want to keep, and I think it actually is useful, is to put 4 miners on the iron deposit, then put 2 miners on the limestone thingy, as you can see over here. There you go, one over here, and another one next to you. And then the remaining 4 to put on the copper. Because, well, you will need copper, as I said. So just remember the pattern, go to the cliffs, drop gently. No problem, man, everything under control. And if you're gonna get damaged, there's a red berry growing over here. So you can easily heal yourself without any problem. You got this, man. I believe in you. Now you have to believe in yourself. Become one with the Feng Shui. Drop the miners over here. As such. And you're free to go. Hey! Back to building. And because I was busy, I've managed to gather the other resources that are like actually necessary for construction of the next part of the cube base. I just need to get more wires. I just noticed because I don't have enough. And I think I should have enough richly with this. 50. Okay, there you go. So, go over here. Put this thing here. You can also put the items in the hub. Upgrade by double pressing the items in the inventory. This thing, and this thing. There you go. Yay! You almost have your first apartment. Now this is where the fun part starts, because it's actually time to get into more automated stuff. As you can see over here, the next level of the base is just the actual factory building. Walls, foundations, ramps, stuff like that, and a little bit of biomass. So, select the milestone. Now the thing is, you could try to craft this thing automatically to save some resources, which I kinda recommend that you do. Or, if you feel lazy, you can build yourself the smelters. Now, for the starting base, to actually get the space elevator, I recommend to have 3 smelters and 3 constructors. Well, exactly, you're gonna see very soon. The game will point you out how many resources you need for this type of building, so feel free to actually follow it. And I'm gonna now gather the iron that has been peacefully collected by my little miners. Oh yeah, let's get into building. Now we probably noticed that the smelter and the other constructor building actually require a new type of resource. You need to have the reinforced iron plate. Now this is a bit more tricky to do, because first you need to have iron ingots, then you need to have the you just need to have iron ingots, then you have to make iron rods, then you make yourself screws, because screw you, apparently according to this game, and only after that, using the iron plates and the screws that you just made, you'll be able to make yourself a reinforced iron plate. And you need exactly 9 for this construction to get finished. Got all of the resources? Sweet! So now it's time to get building. So, as usual, you need to press the Q button. However, just so you know, in my own personal opinion and experience, I kinda recommend that you start building next to the iron deposit over here. It's just gonna make things a little bit more easier and more smooth for you. So, get the smelter. The orange box is the intake. The green box is is output. It's input and output, sorry. The orange box is input. The green box is output. So you put things in the orange one, things get out for the green one. So keep that thing in mind for the future. What's that noise? Hi! I thought something more dangerous. Anyway, get in the building. So we need 1 smelter, 2 smelters, 3 smelters. Easy like that. After that, get back to the building thingy and get yourself the constructor. Now, you want to build this thing over here. Now, if you're gonna see this red, actually green line over here, it should appear actually quite soon. It's not appearing. Where is it? Come on, appear it, game. Oh, there it is. If you see the green line, it means that the output and the new input are perfectly aligned. They're basically a straight line. So if you want this thing to make this thing as beautiful as that is humanly possible, look for the green line. And I'm gonna need to have 3 of those. Just like that. Beautiful. Now sadly, those new machines that you have just built won't run without electricity. Sadly. So the thing is, you need to connect these things now to base. However, the electrical thingy over here can only get connected, I believe, to one thing. So you need to build yourself called something, the power pole. Now the power pole requires wires, iron rods, and concrete. How do you get concrete? Well, you remember those miners that we have built on the limestone? Yeah, this is the moment where you have to actually use this thing. You won't be using this thing too often at the beginning, but you're gonna use it like at some point if you actually want to get electricity around. So get those things, go back to the workshop, and make yourself some nice concrete, man. You're gonna need this thing as well to get the next hub upgrade. So highly recommending that you actually gonna grab this. Remember to make the rods as well. Just a little tiny bit, just to make the basic electricity. As such. Beautiful. Now, what I like to do is actually to build one pole on one pair of smelter and constructor. So, for example, we have a pair over here. So, we make one. Then you have another one over here. So, make another one. And then you have the third one over here. So, make the third one over here. As such. Now, make one over here, just in case if I have to extend my electrical network. As such. Now, press the like number 2 on your keyboard thingy, and I'm missing wires. Okay, give me like a minute. I just need to make myself more wires. Actually, I needed cable, not wires. Sorry about that. Yeah, I should have prepared a little bit better for this. So, press number 2 on your keyboard, select this thing, and pull a cable to this thing. As you can see, you can connect 4 cables to one power line, right? To one actual power pole. So, this is the first one. You press it again, and you drag it all the way to this one. You press it again, then you press it again, go to the next one, and the same deal to the third one. As such. Okay, so we now have electricity from our hub over there. So now we have to connect those things to the smelter and to the constructor. So you do something like this from this one, you do something like this from this one, and then you do something like this from the third one as well. There you go. But Neo, how resources would get transferred between those things? That's a good question. However, I don't think I have the yeah, I don't have the conveyor belts yet. So for now, we have to throw things manually. Yeah, it's gonna be a hassle, but hey, what you can do? You're alone on an alien planet. So feel free to enter the smelter, set it to make the iron ingots, and put some iron ore inside of it. Same goes for this guy. As such, this guy, on the other hand, is gonna make us copper. So the same deal, just put copper inside. They're not smelting. Why? Well, that's a good question. I think the answer is that we don't actually have fuel in the burner. Yeah, you need to grab the fuel. You remember those leaves that I have been collecting? Yeah, we're gonna use the leaves to actually make fuel for the burner. So grab the leaves, don't just throw them inside because that's pointless. Go to the crafter bench and try to find something called the biomass made out of leaves. And craft as much as you can possibly can, because you're gonna need tons of this thing at the beginning, at least till you get the coal. Like, I think after making the space elevator, the first thing you need to focus on is actually get the coal. The coal is the thing. The coal is the most important thing in the entire game at the beginning, at least. So go to the burner, put the fuel inside, and it's working. So just like that, we are starting our first actual factory. Now, we have the constructors over here, so feel free to actually design one of them to make iron plates, then design the other one to make you iron rods, and the third one is gonna make you wires, because those are the basics of, I guess, most of the constructions in Satisfactory. Hard to say. Just remember that you have to do this thing manually, so that's gonna take a while, because reasons. So as I'm waiting for the resources to get smelted and constructed over there, I'm gonna make myself the preparations to get the hub to the next level. So what do we need? We need 75 iron plates, which is a thing. We need 10 cables. We need 10 concrete, which we have to do manually. And then we need to have 2 reinforced plates. So I'm gonna start with this one, because I can, as such. Okay, those 2 have been done. Now, I think my smelters actually managed to get some type of resources already. So, grab them, put the ingots inside of your inventory, and put the ingots back here. As such. So now this thing will make you resources automatically, and you can focus on other things. Just like that. If I have to put it over here. Beautiful. And I'm running out of power. There is one thing I did actually forgot to mention. There's something called the capacity of your like electrical network, and basically I blow up a fuse. So you know what? We're gonna find a way around it. I don't need at the moment the rods. So grab this thing off, change this to make me wires as such. Change this thing from actually I don't need to change you. I just have to disconnect this thing from the network. So grab the copper. If I can only find some space actually in my inventory, that would be great. I can draw this thing. Ah, there you go. Grab the copper ingots. Now, press the F button again and just destroy the cable here. Okay, base back on operations. Put the copper ingots over here. And just like that, we just have to wait. With all honesty, by the way, if you're like actually looking for efficiency, I would rather recommend you to build just 3 smelters and smelt the ingots and make the actual parts by yourself, like at the workshop. But this is supposed to show you that automation is actually possible almost at the very beginning of the game. Now, grab all of the parts necessary from those things. We're gonna go back to the hub. Now let's see. We need 2 reinforced iron plates, I believe. Iron parts, iron foundations. Reinforced iron plates, so we got those things. We need 10 cables, which I have. We need 75 iron plates, and we need around 10 concrete, which I did in my own like spare minute. Okay, so now put all of the necessary resources into this. Just be sure that's gonna get fulfilled. Press once again yellow button, and congratulations, you have the hub level 3. Now with hub level 3, a new possibilities are now available to you. The conveyor belts. You press the number 3 button on your keyboard, you then put the conveyor belt blueprint over the output of, for example, the smelter. You press the left mouse button and then you drag this thing to the constructor and you accept. And as you can see, iron will now flow in and the construction will begin. Assembling and expansion. So for the next part of the hub upgrade to level 4, you don't need anything more fancy. You just need 100 iron plates, 75 iron rods, 20 concrete, and 20 cable. So this is basically so easy. You could do it at home. And I think I have everything. I have everything except for the iron plates. So we just have to wait a little bit longer to get those things. My smelters and constructors are working tirelessly at the moment on the task. So we're gonna get the upgrade extremely soon. No problem with that. And once again, you go to the computer desk thing. You put in the iron plates, you put the iron rods in, you put the concrete in, and you put the cables in, and you press the yellow button and you hit hub level 4. Now level 5 of the hub is gonna be a little bit more overwhelming, but don't you worry, because now we have access to another burner. So you do the same thing. You just put fuel inside, and just like that, you have to connect this thing to the power pole. I think this is the thing you're supposed to do, because this thing has like a separated connection and the electricity does not flow for the rest of the hub. You connect this thing here and then you can remake the connection of electricity between this and this. So now we are back in action. Connect everything nicely so the construction actually will progress automatically without you doing a jack shit right now, and you can sit back, take a sip of your tea and enjoy the satisfaction of Satisfactory. Now the cool thing about the hub level 4 that we are currently on is that you can have finally in the construction thing the miners. The miners are basically automated mines. You put them over the deposit and they will mine out resources that later on you can connect this thing to a conveyor belt and put it directly to a smelter. However, the thing is that getting this thing is actually gonna be a little bit of a charge on your electrical electricity production actually. So instead of that, I really recommend that you're just gonna stick for now for the portable miners, because it really takes me a second to walk back and forward, and the miner itself will require a little bit of energy. It requires 5 energy, while the smelter requires 4 and the constructor requires 4 as well. So To maintain this thing, I will have to build at least 2 miners. Connect them by conveyor belts to those 2 smelters over here, right? So that's 10 electricity alone. And the copper is, for now, a little bit too far away from me to actually connect this thing to the conveyor belt. I can, of course I can. I just need to get the resources. But for the efficiency purpose, I actually recommend that you're gonna just stick for the time being to the smelters and for the constructors alone, because you eventually will run out of fuel and you will just have to take a trip around to gather more leaves and sticks to make more biofuel and biomass. So after a little bit, you're gonna get all the necessary resources. Just put them inside of the like hop inserter thingy. Oh, I forgot actually to make enough iron rods, so let me just fix this thing quickly. So, forgot one more. Well, great tutorial video, Neo, thank you. And there you go. It's finally done. And you're gonna get a new friend as soon as he's gonna land. There he comes! This is a nice view. This is one of the first epic things you're actually gonna see in Satisfactory, and don't you worry. There's a lot more of them coming, so enjoy the view of the little space shuttle landing, or whatever this thing actually is. Because him landing is an actual pleasant view for the poor eyes. And with some simple adjustments, we finally have enough resources to build ourselves this space elevator. Now, the thing is, if you're gonna be playing this thing on your own, I can actually recommend, before you're gonna go to the space elevator, to get yourself the utilities, because this thing will give you the biofuel, which is more efficient than biomass, and will basically save you running around and collecting leaves. But the purpose of this video, I've actually decided to go with the space elevator first, because reasons. So, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, go to the special, select the space elevator, and now press the button and enjoy what you have done to this planet, because from now on, it's only gonna get more complicated. So I hope you have enjoyed this little video. I hope this thing actually was useful for you, one way or another. Remember that now, with the space elevator, you will be able to get access to the coal mining and also the coal generator, which will basically solve completely your electrical problems, energy problems at the very beginning of Satisfactory. So you just have to go to the actual space elevator and select the a proper research, get that thing, and then just go over there to the platform and start mining yourself this wonderful thing called coal. And just if you won't be sure where to look for that thing, I'm gonna quickly go to the space elevator and show you, because you have to just select this thing as such, and as you can see, I need to now deliver 75 of reinforced iron plates and 50 of rotors. Now be able to access the space elevator level 2 basically. And you need to unlock the space elevator phase 1 in order to actually unlock yourself the access to the coal generators, because this thing is locked behind this thing. So I hope you guys will be able to solve this thing on your own. I have give you the basics of how to run your factory, so now on, go explore, build, conquer, and have fun, because Satisfactory is all about having fun. Grab your friends if you have, and build the biggest and the best factory possible in this game. I'm gonna try to maybe make more videos on this game, maybe some tutorials, maybe actual let's play, I don't know. Let me know what you think about this idea. For now though, I'm gonna leave this as always. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you liked the episode, please subscribe a lot. I'll see you all in the next video of Satisfactory.